She is an ESPN broadcaster, author, and a former WDBJ7 employee. Lauren Sisler is also the author of the book Shatterproof. She's speaking to high school students in our hometowns at several events this week, and we're happy to be joined by her and Nancy Hands with a partnership for community wellness. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Looking beautiful, and this is a homecoming for you. I love this.
This is a homecoming indeed. Being inside of this studio right now, I'm sitting here like, oh, full circle moment. I used to run these hallways, y'all, with the camera on my shoulder.
Yes.
I was always in those edit bays doing the thing, and here we are now, and I'm so excited.
You are big time Miss ESPN and married, and your son, you said, is 22 months old now?
Mason Willard, yep, and my son John, and my son's from Christiansburg, and so just, it's so nice to be back home just with my family and his family, and just getting to be back in the schools talking to these students.
It's a wonderful full circle moment. And of course, you know, you may know Lauren from her sideline shimmy and her big, beautiful smile and all of your work on ESPN so far. But you did suffer a tremendous loss over 20 years ago when you were in college. And that's really seems to shape the trajectory of your career in many ways. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was a freshman at Rutgers, living out my dream, doing gymnastics as a collegiate gymnast, the scholarship. That was what I had chased after for so many years, competing in gymnastics here at Roanoke Academy. And unfortunately, as a freshman, I got a call from my dad in the middle of the night to let me know that my mom had died. And came as a huge shock. Get on the next plane you can. I landed at the Roanoke airport and soon found out that my dad too had passed away, and both of my parents had been going to pain management doctor here in Roanoke, and both of them had been suffering from chronic pain, and unfortunately both lost their lives to fentanyl overdoses.
And that is tragedy times two. You know, just losing one parent or any family member to something like that is horrifying, but both in such a short period of time. Of course, that's been many years ago. What has your healing been like, and what are the steps that you took to really get to where you are?
Oh, it's been a journey, and I'll tell you, it's been the journey of getting to come back home to WDBJ and getting to work in the broadcasting industry. But I'll tell you where the healing has really come, because what we get to do as reporters, we get to tell stories.
That's right.
And we get to tell the stories that are so much more than the game, the X's and O's, the championships, right? It's the stories behind the scenes. And I realized that all of us have a story. And when I recognized that, I was so ashamed of my story for so many years because of how my parents died. You know, my parents were loving, they were compassionate, they were joyful. They did everything they could to take care of me and my brother Alan and get us to where we needed to go. And yet underneath it all, they were struggling with this silent battle with addiction. And I inherited that same shame. And I realized I've got to tell their story, and I've got to tell my story, because it helps other people do the same and find hope and that healing.
And that is hope, and that's bringing hope to so many people. And Nancy, of course, a partnership for community wellness. You all do so much to raise awareness and to get the issue of addiction out in the open, where people aren't ashamed and they are sharing their story like Lauren has so beautifully. And it's great because the county school system is going to get to hear her story tonight and tomorrow night.
Well, and what's just so ironic, or just it all happened, is that I met Lauren in 2012 down in Tazewell.
Wow.
And started to hear a little bit about her story. And then forward to just last June, she was a speaker at a conference here about resiliency, and we looked at each other and we went, whoa, it's been a dozen years. And so it's amazing. And right now we are in the schools talking about this, this thing of fentanyl, and how do we get out of it? How do we educate everyone around it? Because it's real, and her story is just going to be fantastic for everybody.
And it's so important for young people to get that message, and for somebody that they admire, a sports reporter, somebody they see on TV. So I'm really excited that you're going to be in several of our schools this week. Lauren, it was a pleasure getting to catch up with you again. See your beautiful smile in person again. Nancy, always a pleasure to see you as well. And we do have details on Lauren's appearances. She's going to be at Hidden Valley High School tonight at 6 o'clock. It's called An Evening with Lauren Sisler. And we've also posted Lauren's other school appearances happening this week on our website, along with this story. Just click on Early Years. Thank you both so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much.
And stay with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.